Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on this look right here, created with the Ace Beaute Paradise Fallen eyeshadow palette. I'm also going to show you swatches. So if you like swatches and tutorials, please consider subscribing because I do them along with makeup hauls and reviews here on my channel every Saturday. So last summer, I think it was, I bought the Ace Beaute eyeshadow palette bundle. There were 4 of these. I already did a tutorial using the Blossom Paradise eyeshadow palette. No, that's incorrect. I used the Classical Paradise palette, and I did a tutorial using this one, which I will link up above. And now I am going into the second one, and this is the Paradise Fallen palette, and this is the one I was most excited about because it's the purple palette, and this is what she looks like. There were some people when this launched that said this is what the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette should have been. I don't know about all that, but I just know that this palette has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purple shades, another one that's kind of this rust plum shade, and it's just beautiful. It's also a little, I don't know, it's like a little gothic, maybe gothic grunge. It's dark because it's got a black, it's got these 2 gray eyeshadows. It's definitely not your average everyday palette, very much not like the palettes that we see so many of that the mainstream makeup brands release. So this indie brand really just, I don't know, in my opinion, they just did something completely away from the norm, outside the box, you name it, atypical, they did it, and I think it's beautiful. Now let's see some swatches of this beautiful palette. Now these are the swatches, and as you can see, they're all very pigmented. This dark slate gray maybe is not as pigmented as the others, but still good pigmentation from that. I find that for the really deep, dark, matte shades and palettes, those tend to feel the driest, maybe even chalky. But I have to say, all of the eyeshadows feel smooth in the pan, including the dark, matte ones. They all swatch nicely, except the really darkest, deepest matte ones did crumble a bit when I was swiping them with my finger. They did fall down onto my lap. So that's a little concerning, I guess, but all very pigmented, very pretty. The pigmentation of these shadows, I'm still astounded. So far, I mean, I haven't used all of the eyeshadows in all of the palettes, but thus far, I've really been enjoying them. I really like this look I came out with today. Very dark, yes, very dark. It's a whole lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But I wanted to use the really dark, deep shades to see how they performed, and it worked out really well. This Eve shade right here is gorgeous. I mean, it's just, it's a really beautiful palette. So enough talking. If you would like to see these shadows in action for yourself and see how I created this look today using the Ace Beaute Paradise Fallen palette, then keep on watching. I'm starting off with my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. As always, everything I mentioned will be listed in the description box below. I'm going to go in and use shadow, this very dark, deep blue purple, and look at that pigmentation. I mean, I wasn't ready. So dark, so deep, so rich. I'm using a Sonia Kashuk crease brush, and I'm just tapping that onto the outer V area, and then I'm also going to start tapping it in the crease as well. I have found that I like to use tapping motions now rather than swiping motions when I'm using really deep dark colors such as this, to first place that shadow and get as much pigmentation as I can, and then I go in and blend. And I was really concerned with this shadow being so dark and so pigmented that I would have a problem blending it, and as you can see, that is not the case. I'm going to start using back and forth motions to blend it in the crease, and then circular motions to blend it in the outer V and onto the lid. And as you can see, no problems with blending, which was really surprising and very nice. And now I'm going in and I'm going to use that shade Eve, which is this really pretty purple blue, this violet shade. Both of these colors have a lot of blue, and I'm using a Delium Tool 776 brush to again place that just on the outer edge of that dark blue, and I'm tapping it on the outer edge, and then I'm going to use it to blend out the edges of that really dark blue shadow. And once again, this shadow also very pigmented and easy to blend. I wasn't sure how far into that inner corner I wanted to go with this eyeshadow, so I'm leaving just a little space at the very inner corner. And I'm going to take Dusk on another Sonia Kashuk crease brush, and I'm going to tap that into that inner corner there. And then I'm going to use little circular motions to blend that into that Eve shade and connect them seamlessly together in the crease. I was trying to bring a little more color to this look because it was so dark. Now I'm taking that shade Pure, and this is a Sigma E36 brush, a very, very small brush. And my intention was to put it just right on the edge of that Eve shadow, but I ended up bringing it in too far, so overlapping it too much, so it changed the color, which was okay because it was looking very, very dark, and this lightened it up a bit. I'm going back in with Eve, and I'm just blending it out to make sure all those colors, and now that purpley color, I'm using that to blend out these shades as well, making sure they all blend seamlessly together. Now I'm taking Twilight on a Delium Tool 772 brush, and I wet the brush, and I have to say I'm putting it in the inner third corner of the lid. I have to say I was a little underwhelmed with the shimmer here. I mean, it turned out really nice and it's pretty, but I guess I was expecting it to have a little more pop, a little more oomph to it. And I'm just putting that on the inner third. Now I'm taking Night Sky and the same brush. I just cleaned it off. And this is another purple, but with more blue in it. And I'm going to blend those two shades together onto the lid and the mobile eyelid. And again, the shades blend beautifully together. And I'm just tapping some of that shadow, that dark shadow shade on the outer V because I didn't want to lose the intensity. And now I'm just wiping away the fallout, which was, again, surprisingly very little. And when you have shades this deep, you know, I'm concerned about fallout, but didn't have a lot. These shades are powdery, though. Very powdery. You will get kick up in the pan when you use your brush to dip into them. Now I'm just taking that dark blue and going onto the lower lash line. Wasn't sure, again, how far in I wanted to take this shade. Going back with Eve, and this is a Makeup Geek pencil brush, and just using that to blend that shadow into the deep blue. And then back in with Night Sky, I used that dry as well, and the same brush, and blending that. And now I'm taking my LA Girl Glide Gel Eyeliner in the shade Purple, and I'm putting that into the waterline. It went perfectly with this look. Now I'm taking Moon Glow and I'm using It Dry and that same Makeup Geek pencil brush, and I'm putting that in my inner corner to serve as my highlight. And this is the completed eye look. I use my Kiss Faux Mink lashes in the style Boudoir, my Inglot gel eyeliner number 77, which I didn't really need to do the wing because that shadow shade is so dark you could barely see it. And again, I'm so impressed with these eyeshadows, and the look came out beautiful, and I really love it. And I finished off the look using my MAC Chestnut lip liner, but of course, and my lipstick, Sephora Lip Stories lipstick in the shade number 38. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope seeing this palette, these eyeshadows that I used today in action was helpful to you. I used actually all I used all of the purple shades today in this look. So, you know, if you were curious about how the purples will work in this palette, well, I was able to demonstrate it for you because I used them all. I am really looking forward to using the other palettes in this bundle. The next up is going to be the Blossom Passion palette, no, the Blossom Paradise palette, and it's the one that looks like this. I mean, so beautiful. These two palettes that I've used thus far have really gotten me excited to try this and see what it will do. I imagine if the formula is consistent among all the palettes that this one is going to be phenomenal as well. So that's the next one up. When I'll get around to it, I'm not sure, because in 2019 we're trying to use this makeup, okay? So I'm sitting here with quite a few palettes here that I need to crack open and try. So yes, your girl is going to be doing more tutorials. I mean, you know, that's what I do here, and I will be using a different palette each time because we got to use this makeup. If you liked this video and found it at all helpful or useful to you, then by all means, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, because I do tutorials along with makeup hauls, swatches, and reviews here on my channel every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.